Is vaccination the new religion? All right, don't run away. Let's all stay calm. It's only a question. Here in the UK, we're really nannied by the state. On one hand, it's amazing to have someone who's caring, who's looking after you. On the other hand, the nanny isn't your mummy. The nanny is someone who's doing the job for cash. They might be a nice person, but it's really about the money, honey. Unfortunately, you only have to look as far as the English Parliament to see a whole host of weirdos who were brought up by nanny, basically because their parents didn't know how to love them. I love a sweeping generalisation. It's clearly time to get the whole anti-vaxxer story out of the way too. I love the idea that Bill Gates has made some nanoparticles in his laboratory next to the rebuild of Frankenstein on one slab and the Microsoft Zune on the other slab, and that he's now sneaked it into the vaccines so that he can track us all over the globe. You did it yourself. The second you signed a contract with O2 or Sprint or Virgin and put that sleek tracker into your pocket. They don't need to inject you. You gave them everything they wanted 10 years ago and every microsecond since, whomever they actually are. In order to get your body to respond to what's being injected into your system, an adjuvant is required. Essentially, this is something that's going to put your body on alert and get it responding. Frequently, we're told that heavy metals such as aluminium are included in adjuvants. The government tells us these are frequently found in nature, water and air, so it must be okay to inject them directly into our blood. There's a growing section of dentistry that's called natural dentistry, in which mercury-based fillings are removed and less toxic substances are put in their place. There's a suggestion that a constant micro drain of mercury from fillings as we eat or grind our teeth leaches into our bodies, causing heavy metal toxification and poisoning. Some proof is building, but as we know, tuna fish seem to be addicted to mercury too, so if you like a tuna and mayo sandwich, you might be doing just as much damage. It's just a general feeling that heavy metals are best left out of our bodies. We learned to treat them with great care in science class. Our teachers told us how toxic and dangerous they were. We heard and saw of chemical factory accidents and understood why people who worked with them always wore white hazmat suits. Yet we seem happy for them to be injected directly into our veins, with or without Mr. Gates's added robots. The people who have natural dentistry seem to have this nagging feeling that something isn't going right in their bodies. I've yet to meet a person who's regretted having it done. Of course, this may be placebo effect making them better, but there is a kind of logic behind getting the toxins out of your system, not putting them in. If one of these companies came to me and said, "We've taken some mineral water from the spring at Vichy and mixed it with some aloe vera juice and a little touch of CV-19 on the side," then I'd be in. To be fair, they used to give us horrific things soaked into a sugar lump, and I was in there too. There seems to be an inherent risk to putting any alien thing into your body. Just look at what happened to poor Sigourney Weaver in that film Alien. Any drug company would be lying to you if they had told you there wasn't some inherent risk. There have been some terrifying stories of people dying after the vaccine was administered, but not as many stories as people dying from CV-19 by a long shot. There is, however, a gamble here. Do you think that you're generally a well person? Are you one of those who never gets cold or flu? Why in God's name would you ever consider a vaccine then? This is, after all, a very, very bad flu year. Nobody has actually died of flu for a while because this new strain of flu is what people are dying of. Why do you get flu and I don't? Simples. I have a strong immune that's able to fight off alien attacks, and yours is compromised. Yes, Sigourney Weaver, take that. Why is my immune strong and yours not? Well, genetics, a little bit. Environmental, external environmental, a little bit. Internal environment, a lot. What suppresses your immune while mine stays buoyantly defensive? Alcohol. A few drinks at night to keep the worry away. Suppresses the immune for 6 hours. The worry can suppress the immune indefinitely. The stress at work, the same story. Lowers the immune function because you're slightly tipped into fight or flight mode all the time. The sugar, yes, suppresses the immune very well, thank you. Let's just look at the people who rule us for a few seconds. Brought up by nanny in a stately home, boarding school, Eton and Oxbridge, straight into politics. Daddy's got a massive share portfolio. Believes that some people were just born into the working classes, whilst others were born to rule. Understands that for the share portfolio to thrive, that companies need to make profits. Doesn't really care that people die to make these profits. People aren't paid enough to live happily. People have to shop at supermarkets where the cheapest ingredient is sugar. People nullify the pain with alcohol. People fill their bodies with toxins from their cheap shampoo, to the fluoride in the water, to the toxins in their workplace, the fillings in their teeth, the heavy metal in their fish and in their arms, as long as the share portfolio still makes a profit. It's a simple story. If you are brought up as a humanitarian, then making a profit at the expense of others is just an anathema. Is there any difference between removing the gold teeth from dead Jews and allowing street children to extract gold from your own mobile phone in a back street of Mumbai? Somebody dies and you look the other way as long as we get a profit. Sure, let he who is without sin cast the first stone. I am by no means the perfect consumer. But I do think about these things and what impact I'm having and what's the cost. Somewhere along the way, we started to understand more and more about the universe and its structure. It became a little bit more difficult to believe in the structure that religion offered us. So many things didn't fit into what religion told us. So many people over the globe believe things that seem diametrically opposite to what we've been told. But they believed it with the same zeal and fervour. How could they be wrong and we be right? How could they have come to such a different place than us? Well, long story short, people quietly walked away from the shouting, shooting, and the dogma. In the UK, the government is pretty much one of the main sponsors of our religion, along with and intertwined with the monarchy. Both feel in a thoroughly patronising way that it's good for the people to have a state religion that binds us all together. This, then, is just as outdated an idea as the religion itself. Our beloved National Health Service is the largest employer in the whole of the UK. It's big business. It's little wonder that all of those MPs spent so many years trying to privatise bits of the NHS. You get that in your share portfolio and watch it zoom. Now, let's see. If I could buy shares in a company that makes mercury, aluminium, adjuvant, syringes, face covering, breathing apparatus, and then there was some sort of worldwide medical crisis, wouldn't that be amazing for the share portfolio? Traditionally, so many industrialists and investors buy into armaments when they see a war on the horizon. If you've ever bought a share in a company like Boeing, BAE, Airbus, Rolls-Royce, Honeywell, then you have blood on your hands. Blood diamonds in your ring, blood shares in your portfolio. It's all the same. The co-op makes profits for farmers. The arms dealers make weapons that kill women and children. It can't be any more simple. Sure, the big corporations pollute our world, kill our wildlife, destroy our forests and fauna for your profit, which will eventually lead to humans dying. But if you invest with a company like Lockheed Martin, you can guarantee your money has gone directly to killing other human beings. Back at the original idea then. 700 years ago, all you had was to pray as hard as you can that God would spare you from the Black Death. And religion supported you. These days you have science as your new religion. And we pray hard that the vaccine will spare us from getting a very bad flu. The high priests have just swapped purple robes for white coats. But the promises can be just as false. There is, however, one other path you could follow. Quit drinking, quit smoking, give up sugar, do some exercise, take some multi-minerals and vitamins, live a long, healthy life. Find any way you can to stop stress in your work and personal life. Today, make the decision to leave the job you hate and replace it with a job that makes you happy as soon as is humanly possible. Today, make the decision to leave the partner that's making your home life stressful, come what may. Surely it's better to be living in a friend's back bedroom and feeling happy rather than a partner who's making you ill. Today, make a 1-year plan to change the job, change the relationship, change the scene or the country, to change the diet and to change the way you live or invest. Be the change you want to see. Be able to look yourself in the mirror and honestly say that you can love and respect yourself. Be a better human. If you make this change, you can become another seed of this fast-growing movement of humanists who are changing themselves and therefore changing their and your world. Be the change you want to see. Please